You sent us to get so many crystals, it's ridiculous.
The crystal! Well done! Wonderful. Now I can focus on your tale without that missing concept nagging at my mind. Have you always had a knack for finding things?
What do we say?
You've been sending me on fetch quests for years.
I honestly think the second one is us making a reference to we may be a Zem. Because wasn't traveling his whole thing?
Yeah, fair enough.
That is his role. He's the traveler. If we want to do that, we can.
Go for it. Now you point that
Okay.
out,
Traveling and
seems suitable.
searching. They go hand in hand.
You travel often, then? Well, it seems we have something in common. Long ago, when I held the seat of Azem, I was forever trekking back and forth across the star in search of answers to people's problems. Naturally, the need for such journeys has lessened considerably since I entrusted the position to my whimsical successor.
We're whimsical, aren't we?
Yet I'm still eager to come running should an old acquaintance or new interest require my personal attention. That is what brings me to Elpis, in fact. Many times has my presence been requested, my opinion sought concerning the habitats of this or that creation. Agreeing to help locate that missing crystal was a minor distraction, which now promises to become a major revelation. How strange and wonderful it is the way one thing leads to another. Wouldn't you agree?
So, about that exam thing, we have so much to tell you, and we probably shouldn't tell you, but I think we're gonna.
Because Hades won't let us not.
Thank you again for your timely help. Now then, 'tis time I return this stolen property. If you would go on ahead to my accommodation, I will join you as soon as I have attended to the task. Follow the path straight ahead to the building at the top of the slope. I have the entire place to myself, so we can speak without fear of being disturbed or overheard.
We're going to Vana's house, guys.
We're going to Mom's house. Will there be cookies?
I wish.
Our old house. Her new one is rather starry.
Weirdly, I get the impression that Vana isn't actually a good cook for some reason. I don't know. That just seems like a quirk she would have.
Yes, next time we could commune with a giant crystal. Can you cook? Can you make nachos?
Can you make nachos?
I have heard, felt,
Here,
and thought a
feel.
lot, and
Bake.
Fucking god damn. Hold on.
Your chocobo is standing in Vana.
Okay, Vana, talk to us.
I have no respect for you two anyway.
You had some?
welcome to my temporary abode. Please make yourself at home while I put on some tea.
You got anything stronger?
We need a clear head for this. This cutscene is voiced and lengthy, by the way.
But it's
Auto
tea.
advancing now. Oh,
Yep.
and Answers is playing. It's fun, as always.
Yeah, Vana's right there.
Ah, a wonderful aroma. I feel more relaxed already.
Would that I had sweetmeats to offer, but I travel light out of habit. There's plenty of hot water though, so please have as much tea as you like. Now then, will you tell us your tale?
We really shouldn't.
But Hades is glaring at us as always, so...
I'm not glaring.
Other one.
What do we say? How do we start?
Let's lead...
Honestly,
Let's lead
the first
with-
one is just straight to the point without revealing too much.
The final days?
Yeah, let's get straight to the point.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna tell them the whole story anyways. It's just how we start.
So you guys fight in the future and hate each other.
Why don't you
But we don't know
start
what
from the
happened to
beginning?
Day, so then you sacrificed.
I was mostly referring to Emmett and Vana. I thought Deus just wants
Are
everyone
we
to be happy.
seriously just explaining the whole thing to them?
Yeah, timeline be fucked.
I'm gonna be fucked.
You won't let us not.
I'm sure Emmett's gonna love this. Especially his role. We told her about Crystal.
Heidelin.
Now she knows her future. Tell them about Laha Bro and the Asians.
That's loud, right?
Emmett doesn't look like he enjoyed that. Emmett Selkin.
Amarat.
What's left of it? The Shade.
The recreation, yeah.
And the death of Zodiac.
Zodiac.
No one looks happy now.
Would you be?
Preposterous. Utterly preposterous.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
While
Yeah,
not the
believe
words
us.
I would have chosen, I too have my doubts. Much of it borders on the incredulous.
If someone told you you were like an evil, a genocidal villain
What
in the
of you,
future,
Vana?
would you want to believe it?
Not knowing the precise details of the first final days, it is difficult to determine the veracity of the tale. Supposing it is all true, I must ask myself why I would do what I did.
Maybe she does what she did because she knew she had to.
Why would I feel I had no recourse but to oppose the 14 and create this Heidelin? Circumstances change, of course, but it would not have been an easy decision regardless. No, there must have been a reason. One compelling enough to force me to take such drastic measures. Then there is the Elpis flower, which I said would serve as a guide. That it's of import to your mission is plain, but your presence here leads me to believe that this place also holds significance. But what could it be? What are we meant to accomplish?
Might it not be simply thus? In the future, whence she came, the final days could not be averted. Mankind has no choice but to flee the star. By alerting us to that eventuality, perhaps you wish to pave the way for other futures.
Theoretically speaking, it is a possibility. Yet if that were my primary objective, I see no reason to guide our friend to Elpis specifically. The capital and Amarot, or even my own home would be more logical destinations.
She makes a point.
True, true. I note also that Heidelin did not specify a point in time to which she must return.
We can't do that because we would unmake a lot of souls.
By this, it may be inferred that it was not critical that we should meet.
Alternately, she had reason to believe that our paths would converge, coincidental though it may seem.
Maybe because you already lived it. No.
This is quite a puzzle, and we do not have all the pieces.
Hardly any. But we do have one immutable fact. If the final days are indeed as described, they will bring death to all that I hold dear. Yet despite being afforded long years of preparation, the only provisions I could make were for flight. Nay, my first and foremost endeavor would be to find a way to forestall the coming doom.
Given that even the 14 failed, mayhap you deemed it impossible.
Nothing is impossible. This I have always believed. And if Heidelin is indeed me, she would believe the same.
Listen to yourself. Are you seriously entertaining the notion that you are a messianic figure in some far-fetched tale? Well, I will not. I refuse to accept that our world could be undone by some unforeseen calamity. I also take offense to my portrayal as a megalomaniacal madman.
Yep.
To sacrifice oneself for the star is a noble act, and I would hold those who gave themselves to this zodiac in the highest esteem. Yet, you claim I recreated Amarot and populated it with phantoms of our people? A bizarre indulgence that would be insulting to their memory. Worse still, I even invited you there. Literally invited my own downfall. Why would I do something so idiotic and inexplicable? Now, I will allow that the hypothetical task of restoring our world would be daunting in the extreme. The thought of having to bear such a burden for 1,000 lives horrifies me. But I would never forsake my duty. I would never forsake my brethren.
He's in sheer denial right now.
You do not know me.
His voice actor just...
I've had my fill of your fiction. I will return to my duty, and you will not bother me again.
I think we upset him.
You think?
Emmett Selk, wait!
Mom, I think we made.
You've seen much of Elpis already. If you have any observations to share, I should like to
I don't
hear
think
them.
we made him angry. I think we made him depressed.
Oh, by the way, you're an asshole who basically
Oh, yeah.
was an asshole.
Like you said, like hearing his actions in the future, the megalomaniacal madman part, you know, creating the Garlean Empire, the bloody God, why have I suddenly blanked on previous empire?
The Allegan.
Allegan, yeah, that's it. I don't know why I suddenly blanked on. I had it till the last second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many of the other things that he did.
The genocide of entire worlds. It's not something he wants to hear, is it?
It's not something he wants to hear. He only really becomes more pliant to it later after he gets tempered by Zodiark along with everyone else.
Like you said, like the people who sacrificed themselves to Zodiac save the world he would hold in the highest esteem. Why would he want to commit genocide to force them to come back?
And just recreating that shade, that illusory recreation of Amarot also.
The funny thing is, Hythlodaeus, when we met him in present with the Zodiac, said, when we said about the shades, he said that that's exactly what Emmett Selk would do.
Yeah, so Emmett is 100% in denial right now.
Yeah, just doesn't want to believe that a mix of tampering and just sheer loneliness, loss, and desperation would drive him to such monstrous means.
Yeah.
That the hero would become
Anyway.
the villain.
Anyway, so what do we say to Vana?
Dynamis is the key to all this.
Yep.
Alright. Okay.
That one or the second one, because I've got my eye on Meteon.
She's gonna die.
Ah, yes. The energy distinct from ether. Though not my field, I have a basic understanding of
Meteon's going to do
dynamis.
something. Her empathic powers
And
have
you
to be
say
relevant.
Hermes researched the phenomenon in the course of creating Meteon? Yes. I believe this warrants further investigation. With that settled, 'tis time for action. The missing pieces of the puzzle are here, I'm certain of it. And when you find them, the picture my future self has painted will be complete, and you will have your answer. Now suffice it to say, I will aid you in your quest. Have faith. If Emmet Selk is the man Azum described to me, we've not seen the last of him.
Did we mention the part that we're actually as?
I don't know. They kind of leave that bit vague.
I assume they did. It'd be hard to get around it, considering it's rather.
I still want us to beat ourselves.
Anyway.
He might.
So that was a lot.
But she's also referring to her own future self as a mixture of I and she and Highlander. So her pronouns are kind of all over the place with past, present, and such. So she might.
I mean, it's kind of a funky situation that's all over the place, so it's understandable.
So we probably have told her. She's probably just saying Azum to differentiate between us now and us then.
Yeah. All right.
Shall we begin our investigations then? I am acquainted with Hermes, of course, but only as a visitor received by the chief overseer of Elpis. Of the man himself, I know only that which is common knowledge. Thus, I suggest we fall back on the tried and true method of conversing with the locals. The observers who live here can surely tell us more of Hermes and Meteon, and I have a good idea of where we might begin.
It's the Hildebrand method of, if asking doesn't work once, ask again.
I mean, her whole shtick with the Azum seat was to just
do what we do.
Go
all
around
the
and
time.
talk to people.
Click on people and see what their troubles are, and then Frey gets upset with us.
Oh, you've seen that.
Oh yeah, I've completed the Heaven Sword Darkness storyline now as well. So.
Nice.
See you the woman standing in front of yonder building? Her name is Ismene. She is the one who made arrangements for my stay in Elpis. And from what I recall, she has held a position here for quite some time. Chances are she can provide us with some insights. Go and ask your questions. I will help with drawing out answers if need be, but I leave the choice of topic up to you.
She's testing us.
Questions? For me? Well, I suppose I have no other pressing duties at the moment.
The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending duty finder registrations. Begin asking questions? Yes. Disable auto advance.
Greetings, Ismene. My friend here is desperately curious about Chief Hermes, and I was wondering if you might indulge them. Certainly, Mistress Vana. Anything to be of service. What do you wish to know?
Kind
What
of.
do we ask?
Kind of person is Hermes.
Yeah, what kind of
Alright.
person?
Well, I can only answer from my own experience, but I would describe him as a quiet man, reserved you might say, and occasionally somewhat poor with his choice of words.
I mean, we're investigating them now, so we obviously told them about his future as for Daniel, what he does.
His reticent nature, however, does not prevent him from carrying out his duties as chief overseer. The man is a walking archive when it comes to life forms. He can discuss any species in incredible detail, and is the leading authority on concepts with the power of flight. I hope that answers your question. Was there anything else?
Meteon's abilities. I want to know about Meteon's abilities.
Alright. Let's go for it then.
It's no secret that she is a highly unusual familiar. Of late, the chief often makes his rounds with her, like a mother hen raising her chick. I understand that she is able to read emotions and communicate directly with one's mind. Exactly how she was created with that talent, however, is a mystery to me. My apologies. I wish I could explain her nature in more depth, but I've not had occasion to discuss it with Chief Hermes.
Do you trust him?
Yeah.
Alright. Gonna cut to the quick of it.
I beg your pardon? I've known Chief Hermes for many years. Though I cannot say we are close, he is never without information to the detriment of our duties, if that is what you mean. Forgive us, we seem to have veered slightly off course here. Is there perhaps someone else who could tell us more about Meteon? That will be Tamayas. He has a similar expertise with flying concepts and is more than eager to discuss the subject. You'll find him conducting his observations on the banks of the stream somewhere to the east. Oh, and, unless you take a particular joy in rambling discourse, I suggest you keep your questions concise. We shall keep that in mind. Thank you for your patience and your insight. Think nothing of it. If there is aught else you need during your stay, please do not hesitate to ask.
I didn't get much of a chance to do my warm-up, so all these female voices are hurting my throat.
Come, I think we've taken enough of Ismin's time.
Right here.
Damn.
All right.
Our investigation is off to a fine start, wouldn't you agree? From here, I propose that we split up. I shall continue making inquiries with the resident observers if you could track down the colleague Ismin mentioned. While I did feel compelled to interject once or twice during that previous conversation, you seem more than capable of drawing forth the answers you seek. All I ask is that you watch your footing around the stream. We can meet back here once you finish speaking with this Tamayas.
And the only time she check was with the "Do you trust him?" one. But it seemed appropriate given what we know.
Yeah.
Still haven't forgotten the whole body swap thing.
Tamayas! God, I love the music in this zone. There it is, Tamayas. I think that's a guy. I'm not seeing any booba. Yes, I'm Tamayas, but please keep your voice down. You'll startle the birds.
Begin your question.
Question time.
Cross-examination.
So, what is it you wish to speak about?
I want to do the bottom one.
It's kind of concise. All right, I'm good with that, Tom.
Yep, it's good.
All right, bottom one. Chief Hermes' work? A worthy subject indeed. Those beings which soar through the clouds, majestic and graceful, are ever a favorite of creators. Even now, with so many varieties in existence, the flood of newly imagined concepts continues unabated. What sets the Chief's creations apart, however, is how they benefit from his boundless knowledge of the celestial realm. Birds that climb so high they can disappear from view, others which traverse the boundless sky in moments, and all without riding the currents. I know of none save he who can conceive of such marvels. Even we who prize elegance of form above all else are dumbfounded by his genius.
Meteon.
Yeah, the bottom one, yeah.
Meteon 2 is a marvel, then? My opinion on that matter would be superficial at best. Despite my admiration for Meteon as a concept, I've never delved too deeply into the inner workings of her nature. I know that she has a gift for communicating via emotions, but otherwise her abilities are a mystery to me. If Chief Hermes should choose to submit Meteon's concept to the Bureau of the Architect, then will the design be registered for public scrutiny? Analyzing a colleague's creation before that step is, frowned upon, to say the least. Of course, if he came to me, a fellow artisan looking for advice, that would be an entirely different story.
But he just said that he doesn't really know anything about the nature, so I feel like the top one would be the best one.
Alright.
It says, "Do you know of Dynamis?" And I could tell you more of Meteon's nature, but
Intellects, yeah.
Well, shit, I already picked it, so.
well,
Pick the top. You already picked the top one.
Yep.
well, I guess we're going for it.
If you guys want to do the bottom one, that's fine.
Too late. I already clicked it. Dynamis and Enteleckies? Those terms do sound vaguely familiar. Was there not a flower made here in Elpis which exhibited properties of one or the other? Oh, it must have been centuries since I last heard anyone speak of such things. There's been a resurgence in interest. Not quite. Well, then why bring up the subject? I'm flattered you sought my insight, but I cannot afford to neglect my duties for the sake of idle chatter. Now, I really must return to my observations. Surely you have your own tasks to attend to. Not a whole lot useful from that.
Well,
Other than Hermes is really damn good at creating flying things.
and Meteon is still unknown to a lot of people.
Meteon's abilities, so you can create things that use Dynamis.
So,
He can create things
Hold on.
using Dynamis.
so,
I'm gonna set myself to do not disturb real quick because I was getting pings in Discord. Yep.
so
I thought-
perhaps there's more to Meteon than
Like-
anybody here knows.
Well, there's Meteon, there's also like a bunch of sisters out there. Other versions
Yeah.
of her. Or siblings. 'Cause my thoughts is that, obviously, she can project emotions, sense emotions, you can hear her in her head, and everyone always hears in their head, right before the final days start, a weird sound, like, projected into their minds.
As if the earth itself was crying out, yeah.
Like,
Alright, Vana.
it's either something to do with Meteon, her sisters, or some other entity that he created with similar abilities.
Either that or they stumbled on something. Either way.
Back already? Well, that was quick work. You were obviously clever enough to heed off any of that rambling Ismene mentioned. So, have you any new findings to share? I see. Even an expert in the field had little understanding of Meteon's capabilities, let alone an awareness of Dynamis. My questions resulted in much the same answers. Hermes' colleagues view Meteon as his personal project, and can provide no details beyond those which you just told me. Which leads me to believe that the only person with any significant knowledge of Dynamis is Hermes himself. Yes, we've made some progress here, but more information is needed if we are to reach any definitive conclusions.
Alright, next quest.
At present, the strongest link we have to the final days is the power of Dynamis, and the entelechies which can control it. Yet most scholars are only vaguely aware of these terms, let alone study them in any depth. Except for Hermes, it seems. Thus I am inclined to stay our current course, and learn all we can about the Chief Overseer and his familiar. And on that subject, was there aught else of note you can tell me about Meteon, aside from her unorthodox method of communication?
Well, I'll go with the bottom one because it mentions the sisters, but it also mentions the rest of it.
Right.
I rather wish you had mentioned that earlier. In any event, would you care to elaborate?
Blah 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 blah.
Space. It is really, really big.
So these siblings of hers now travel the great expanse in search of deeper meaning. Thank you. Though the mystery at hand remains unsolved, I feel you've touched upon a vital clue, one we should keep in mind as we continue. Next, I propose we take ourselves to that word and that word not far from here. Just follow the path to the west.
Peripetia crystalline. Wait a moment. But yeah, obviously Dynamis is involved, and Daniel's the link between both. And Meteon and sisters.
Yeah, fun fact, the writer for Endwalker, one Ishikawa, has actually gone on record to say that Fandaniel is her favorite character in this.
And he's dead.
I assume she's also counting Hermes, like this incarnation, as part of that.
Yeah, the character in general, past, present, in between.
This tower, and the one further along, are both part of the Peripetia Crystalline, the facility where they archive all of Elpis's observational and testing records. Despite how they appear from the outside, the interior is actually a vast area of magically interconnected spaces which, while fascinating, is not the reason we're here, is it?
It's a TARDIS.
I shall cut my-
It's bigger on the inside.
There was
Yep.
one Charlie in place. We went from a toilet at one point. That was kind of weird on the inside and upside down on the outside.
Yeah, that was the anti-tower, and that was like that because it was connected to the ethereal sea. Space just blends weirdly there anyway. Anyway,
I shall cut my architectural lesson short and see what these two archivists have to share. If you could find someone to speak with over at the other tower, I shall join you there anon.
yeah, these two towers, they're just big TARDISes.
Do they beep at you and hit you in the head with a monitor?
They're not Type 1s. They're not tardy. I love Tardy. She's so fun.
Yes. A prototype TARDIS that still retains her individuality from before being TARDIS.
You have questions for me? Certainly. Just a moment while I conclude my current appointment. Indeed. So if you could provide a comprehensive log of those behaviors, we should then have sufficient data for our official records. Now, what was it you wished to speak with me about? The Chief Overseer's personal research project. And by that, I assume you mean Meteon. Such undocumented studies are difficult to track. After all, hardly a day goes past without seeing a researcher trailed by one creation or another. I'm afraid I cannot tell you exactly when Meteon appeared, only that she now spends much of her time at Chief Hermes' side. Although, I do recall an interesting tale my dearest Galen shared with me. Galen is my partner and a fellow researcher here in Elpis. She was returning late one night when she caught sight of Chief Hermes sending Meteon heavensward, a host of them. For several days, she would speak of that scene with wonder, describing it as one of the most beautiful spectacles she had ever witnessed.
That sounds like a story I should like to hear.
Vana! Milady! Mistress Vana! I thought you'd already returned to the surface. Permit me to thank you again for your invaluable contribution to our concept placement proposal.
Pray do not mention it. As you say, my original plan was to leave after that task, but I've since become engrossed with Chief Hermes' research. Would you favor us with a retelling of the sight which so delighted your Galen?
Of course. Or you could hear it from her lips directly, if you prefer. At present, she should be observing a subject in Metaboseus Thalassai. I'm assuming I said that right. She does enjoy her time there, watching the sea creatures hunt and play, gazing upon the salty waters of the world's oceans, recreated in such sublime detail. I imagine you must find similar joy in judging your boundless curiosity, Mistress Vana. Even though such pursuits must continually and regretfully delay your return to the star.
Indeed they do.
It is a rest well deserved and long overdue, I should think. How greatly have we prospered for the wisdom you accumulated during your travels as a Zem. And what would Elpis be without your earlier academic work? The theories you developed served as the basis of many techniques still in use today. Man is a creature of contemplation, but none embody that nature with as much enduring passion as you. Aye, I dare say there's not a soul alive more worthy of a return. I shall rejoice the day you depart on your final journey.
Yeah, cultural barrier. We don't typically go to people and say, "Oh, you should die now."
I will be honored.
She seems less than thrilled. Funny enough.
Well, shall we take this opportunity to meet with Galen in person? I don't like this conversation.
Then allow me to reconfigure the door to the archives here. It will take you up to the Skyway and spare you the need to avoid hostile concepts on the ground.
That would be most helpful. Thank you.
Again. I've opened the path to the Skyway. Once you pass through the door, simply walk straight across to the next tower and ask for admittance to the upper tier. Upon arriving at the upper tier, walk straight across the Skyway, and you will find yourself at the entrance to... I'm not going to say that again. Galen will be eager to share her tale with you, I'm sure.
Oh, and please to tell me if you want me to arrange your funeral.
God, I cannot get over how fluffy and pink the clouds are here. Look at them, they're so fluffy and wispy. Okay, let's see here. No booba on this one, so dude. Mistress Vana, just passing through. Then allow me to prepare the path. If you need further assistance, there is always an observer or two out in the upper skyway. Up we go! It's quite a view from up here.
Imagine in modern day, all these islands just crash to the ground.
Pulverized by calamity after calamity, nothing left.
So if you won't find much of Elpis, because the islands fell out the sky. Maybe made some...
There might be some left over in some of the shards, like the first, kind of like with Emerald, but who knows? Let's see here. I'm pretty sure this one. Yeah, there's boob on this one. This is a lady.
Mistress Vana? I was not told to expect... we should have prepared an official welcome. Please, there's no need for fanfare. I only wish to speak with Galen, if that might be arranged. Yes, Galen, of course. I'll inform her immediately. But she may be engaged in a testing phase. You could be in for something of a wait. Should I let her know your business is urgent? That won't be necessary. The lovely view will keep us occupied until she is ready to receive us.
Right, the apocalypse doesn't happen for another 15,000 years.
We got a bit. Another voiced cutscene here, by the by.
Enable.
A delightful breeze and a breathtaking view. What is it like in the future? Is the world still a beautiful place?
I'd say so.
It has its moments.
What do we say?
I mean, the world's the world. I mean, we've seen plenty of beautiful sights since we've gone. I mean, have you seen Ilmeg?
Yeah, we've seen plenty of beautiful places, but also some fugly places too. Like
So some parts, yes. Others, not so much.
yeah, that's right. Honestly, there's just some places that aren't so great.
Don't go to the 13th. Shit.
Dark hidden places, rife with danger. Those have an altogether different, but no less powerful sort of appeal. While we wait, will you not tell me about your adventures? Well, not the portentous events which led you here, but the simple delights all your own.
There's this guy called Hildebrand.
By learning about the future world, I may gain insight into future me's plans. But more than that, I have an interest simply as a fellow traveller. Short of going somewhere oneself, there's naught more stirring than hearing another's account.
So we just fill in the blanks with whatever story we want here.
There was this time with a rope.
That I will hang you off from this building.
That was the Hoshafont emote we just did.
Of course.
So we were probably talking about Hoshafont there.
before you became old.
Incredible. Would that I could have been there to see it. Yours is a harsh and unforgiving world. Yet in spite of this, your brethren hold fast to their virtue. To know that the light of mankind's potential still shines, even in that faraway place, it gives me heart. Thank you for regaling me with your tales. I will treasure every word. As you know, I was once a scholar. And among other things, I sought to understand the workings of the world. What exactly is ether? How formed the laws of nature? Whence sprung mankind? Riddles and mysteries beyond counting. Over the years, I have managed to find answers to some few of them. Yet rather than attain a sense of mastery, the more I understood, the more I came to hold the world and its miracles in awe. We too are miracles, each and every one of us, born of the warm breath of life that traverses the heavens, swirling through eternity. When I fully grasped the improbability of our existence, nothing felt impossible anymore. If it could be imagined, it could be done. A passion swelled within me, an epiphany dispelling all preconceptions of what was natural and true. And a presence without, immense yet intimate. Fate, perhaps, holding us in its tender embrace. As reassuring as it was intimidating, how keenly aware I became of creation's fragility, built as it is upon precarious happenstance. I was overcome with an irrepressible urge to know the world more intimately, to hear its voice, feel its breath. I ventured forth on a journey that very day, so very long ago now. Freed from presumption and prejudice, I saw the world through a newborn's eyes. Everything fresh and new, and so beautiful. Lands that stretched on forever. Skies one could drown in. The heartbeat of nature, silent yet strong. And amidst it all a people. Beacons of light and life. Laughter that warmed my heart like naught else before. They are my meaning, and my purpose, my love. And so long as they need help, I cannot return to the star. Perhaps my future self is still waiting for it. The moment she can let go and walk unto the end. Safe in the knowledge that man will find his own way. You, who are our future, tell me this, and tell me true. Has your journey been good? Has it been worthwhile?
I got to see Cat Burger. Say so.
Pray forgive my lateness. My observation subject was rather irritable, and it took a while to settle it down.
No need to apologize. Your work takes precedence. Besides, we had a pleasant conversation in the meantime.
You're too kind. Now then, I'm told you wished to ask me some questions.
Indeed. I've an interest in one of Hermes' creations. Meteon. You witnessed a host of them take flight, yes?
Oh, that! Yes, I did. 'Twas in the dark of the morn. I'd left the Thalassai after nocturnal observation. As I walked along, I spied a bright light climbing high into the southeastern skies. Then, in an instant, it was gone, like a shooting star, only rising rather than falling. But then another shot up, then another, and another. Intrigued, I made my way to the edge to investigate. And who should I spy on an isle to the south but Hermes and Meteon, the Metea, rather. There were lots of them, and I realized they must be the shooting stars that I'd seen.
A dazzling spectacle indeed. Have you spoken with Hermes about this?
Oh, yes. The sight left such an impression on me that I approached him about his mystery project the very next day. Alas, he said that he couldn't reveal anything just yet, that he needed to conduct further tests. It shouldn't be long now, though. He often returns to that isle, and I have a feeling he's nearing a breakthrough.
A breakthrough, huh? Why do I feel like that
Splendid.
goes badly?
We are likewise eager for the details. Well, that is all we wish to ask. Thank you for taking the time to indulge our curiosity.
You're very welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with other inquisitive souls. Oh, and will you be descending now? If so, I shall link the doors for you.
Please.
So, her species are called the Meteor.
The Metea, yeah. That little, I don't know if it's right to call them a species, because they're kind of a unique case. I don't know exactly how many there were, but certainly not enough to be a viable population. If
Well,
they were
I mean,
start
just because
early.
someone was a viable population doesn't mean they're not a species. I mean, they create all kinds of new species around here.
I get that. It's just, I feel like given her unique circumstances and the specific purpose, that species isn't necessarily the right word. I don't know. It's weird.
Doing all of them.
No, then.
So, another piece of the puzzle falls into place. From what we've learned thus far, I think we can safely conclude that Hermes hasn't been revealing the details of his research to others, which suggests that either someone will appropriate his discoveries and make use of them, or that Hermes himself will have a hand in causing the final days. Since we have no reason yet to suspect the former, we should consider the latter the more likely possibility. Proceeding under that assumption, our next step should be to divine why, or even if, he might desire such a terrible fate for our star.
Sort that shit out later.
I should like to visit the site from which Hermes sent forth the Metea. If we are fortunate, we might find some hint of what drives this research of his. Galen said she spotted them in the southeast, rising from an isle she could see from the edge. If we stand at that same vantage point, it should not prove too difficult to locate the isle in question. Let's take a look, shall we?
See where Meteon's sisters went for a ride. what doesn't always get concerned.
Just me thinking about stuff. Nothing immediately relevant. Don't you worry about it.
I always worry about it when it's you.
Man, I've been your dungeon master for too long if me humming makes you concerned.
It really does.
You thinking makes us concerned.
Okay, now that's just offensive.
It's true though. It's usually thinking of some way to hurt us.
No, I was just thinking about things happening elsewhere, and I had a point of curiosity. And sometimes I just like to vocalize.
Uh-huh. Thanatos, now's not time for playtime.
It looked at me.
You know, someone created that thing. And now they're gonna be upset with you.
Nobody
I'm
saw
from the
us, they
future.
can't
What are they
prove
gonna do
anything.
with it?
Let's go.
I'm from the future. What are they gonna do to me? Grab me?
They're gonna sue you at the hall of, like, something of the fucking, I don't fucking know. The Bureau of the Enforcer? I don't know.
Nicely articulated.
Don't worry. I'll
10
make
out of
sure
10.
to make my court appearance.
Non-voiced.
Disengage.
Now, if I were conducting some mystery research, where would I go?
Right there.
Ah, what about that one? Have you the means to fly? 'Tis quite a distance away.
We don't have all these occurrences yet, so no.
Inconvenient, but hardly an insurmountable problem. To me, Argos!
Doggy!
Argos!
The dog!
We meet
Her
again.
dog! For the first time.
My friend, would you mind creating a double to carry them over there, over to that island?
Hello again for the first time.
Stubborn creature. There's no place on this great star we have not together traveled, and still he remains obstinate in the presence of strangers. Argos has rather exacting standards, I'm afraid.
We met him in the future and he was not at all reluctant.
He liked us then.
He'd already met us, probably, that's why.
What? You've ridden him before? Ah, your before meaning my after. Not at all confusing, that. Interesting. 'Tis certainly not unthinkable. But speaking of the here and now, the quick solution is for us to face off in a sparring match.
What?
I beg your pardon?
Demonstrate to him that you are capable of holding your own against me in battle, and you should convince Argos that you are worthy of his back. And besides, I might even teach you a thing or two into the bargain.
Are we gonna fight Heidelin?
You seem doubtful, but useful lesson or not, it will certainly be a moment to remember. A memory of the distant past to cherish. What say you, traveler out of time?
Adam versus Adam, let's do this.
Yeah. What do we say?
Choose your battlefield.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, she was like she was like current Azam's teacher too. So
I admire your
I
confidence.
also point out that this is another point into my time loop theory, the fact that we could ride the dog in the future just fine, because it already trusted us.
Clear your mind and prepare your weapons. I will await you at the clearing over yonder.
The dog knows us.
So you see, Tom, we are fighting Heidelin.
we're fighting Vana.
The North Heidelin is getting... Can't take.
She is Heidelin.
Well, she's not Heidelin yet. In the future, Vana's her dead name, or whatever we want to go with.
You're just nitpicking the details now.
I'm just gonna ride my behemoth and pretend I didn't hear it.
Either way, I will point out, this upcoming fight's actually quite challenging. Vana doesn't fuck around.
Well, again, she's Heidelin. I would hope
What
not.
class is she?
Yes. She has leveled many jobs. I think at
She-
least she has at least Conjurer. Like she has like White Mage, Black Mage, Dancer, and Paladin
Does she
all maxed.
job
Dancer?
change like the Warrior of Light canonically does every now and then?
She definitely whips out a bunch of different weapons over the course of this fight.
Okay.
Right.
Shall
you
we
must
begin?
You must disband.
Oh, right.
Proceed.
Shall we begin? Be warned, I'll not go easy on you.
Alright.
Alright, guys, it's time to kick mom's ass.
Or get our asses kicked by mom, which is
Hurry, that
probably
one.
more likely.
Neither side hold back.
And...
Usually while I run around in circles around the arena till you don't hit me. This is my tactic, because I'm an archer. That really fucking hurt. Ow.
She appears to be a paladin right now. Ow!
Yeah.
But as I said, she has many jobs level.
Again, Mika's a healer. She can at least healer, though.
It also means I'm squishy and my damage output is low.
Run there. I just lots of notes about it. Sprint, you fucker. Oh shit. I somehow avoided that. Okay,
Come on,
good.
I'm okay. No. Bomb's scary.
Told ya, Vana doesn't fuck around.
This is just a paladin.
My blade sings!
Powers befitting of one who sat in the seat of his end.
Closer. Sing song, sing song, sing song. Oh god. Nuts.
Impressive. I shall have to try something
She's
different.
job changing on me.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
changing
she's
on
a
me,
dancer.
too.
Apparently. She's a dancer.
Yeah, that's...
Learned
No
something about
quarter.
Mother today.
I did not expect dancer.
I mentioned dancer just a minute ago.
No, I mean like before you mentioned this. Like
Have a taste.
the others kind of make sense, but why dancer?
Gonna be switching around.
I don't know. She seems like she's a lighthearted individual. If she
Okay,
honestly makes
alright.
it creative.
I see what you're doing. No. There'll be none of that.
I see you won't be
Enough with
easily
your
overcome,
spinning.
but neither will I.
I've got her down to 60. Also, she's changing her weapon on me again.
She's a
She's
black
also changing on me.
mage.
Now she's
White
black
mage, actually.
Oh, that's white. That is white mage. With her stones in it.
Yeah, because she's using wind and stone and shit.
Yep. A lot of these currents. Let's do this. This is fine.
Find an empty spot. Then they explode.
Prepare yourself.
They do.
Oh no. Afflatus as them? Oh great. Just like my Afflatus misery.
What's that? Your blood lotus thing?
Yeah, and she's now attacking me with the Afflatus as them. Oh god. True holy. Oh boy.
Ow.
Ow.
Oh, that's not good. Oh, that hurt. That hurt.
The edge of the arena, is that just a shield or will that kill you?
No idea. Don't touch it regardless. Probably bad for you. I doubt it's a death wall, but it'll probably hurt all the same.
Oh god.
Ow.
And I'm dead.
You've only
You
just
died?
begun.
Yes.
Come at me with your
The
all.
big, like, earth explosions thing got me.
I managed to avoid that. You just get into the middle. Oh, first one goes off.
Again, you can shoot from a distance.
Oh, she's gone back to Paladin. Yes, but I'm going to quickly run because if she gets close, she fucks me right up.
I don't
Run
have any
me!
healing abilities other than like second wind and blood.
One more. Come on. Stressing. I'm back full health.
The lemurs!
my blade sings!
Close. This one. 5.
Very well. Let us move to the final trial.
Final trial. Okay, I gotta destroy things to see.
Are you done throwing Thalimas at me there, Mom?
No, Ethan, for
I do
you.
not want your blade to sing. Stop singing.
Oh,
Okay.
dramatic attack.
Now she's dancing.
Shit, the bed is getting close.
You just fucking knocked this with that attack there, Mom? Jesus. Oh! Alright, duty complete.
Neat.
That was cool. I still love that fight.
I mean, it's a cool fight, but it's not easy. Of course, I think we'd all be a little upset if Heidelin was easy.
I'm gonna be right back while you're still working through that to get myself something to nibble on.
You do so.
Denied! Ah! 42. Aretha's a 42. I think that'll be enough. Gonna hurt. Mother?
Mother.
Break your chains, shed your burdens, and show me your strength of will!
No, that is a very noxious attack. Okay. But. Foil arms. Ah! Ow!
Okay. Yeah, that'd be right.
I'm okay.
You still stand.
Chocolate.
The people of your time are more resilient than I had dared hope. I have seen enough.
I cannot.
She
Why
absolutely.
can I not? Why can I not do anything? Oh, wait.
She absolutely could have laid us out, couldn't she?
I don't know, maybe.
She just hit me with the royal arms.
Alright, that's what I was saying. Are you fucking Noctis?
Oh god.
Oh, wait, on dialogue box.
I just realized.
'Twas my intent
She
to
has a
finish
DPS,
it,
a tank,
but
and a healer
clearly
job
I
all
underestimated you. One would think I never learn. I made the same mistake with Azam when we first sparred. Despite being less than half my age, her strength was astounding. As is yours. 'Tis plain you have weathered considerable hardship. Far more even than your tales would suggest. It seems we have both learned much on our journeys.
The dog likes us now. Best doggy.
Best doggy.
Well now, I dare say he has warmed to you.
We only had to get beaten up by the owner.
A boon to be sure. He never forgets his favorites, and is ever eager to come to their aid.
You know,
I'm
forget
starting to think that time loop may be.
Totally a time loop.
Maybe.
We've done all this before. Elpis there. Heidelin knew everything from the start. You knew everything. You knew everything. Ah.
Which would also explain why she doted us so specifically, and why we're so damn strong. Anyway.
Argos will soon have us standing on the very spot where the Meteor made their departure into the night sky. With luck, we will learn something of Hermes' intentions. My hope is that we find no connection, no festering wish for oblivion. Then we might have Hermes and his considerable expertise working for us rather than against us. Let us move over to the edge before mounting, shall we? That will allow Argos to catch the currents rising up from below and give us a smooth ride over to the Isle.
I put it there. I noted something in that image.
What?
Flower upon your return. Why is Meteon's head feathers black?
Because it's really, really dark in that picture.
Oh, nee.
And the whole image is just ether current.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and the whole image is just kind of desaturated too.
It's in my belly. None for me.
I want to put these calming platitudes in writing.
All right, Argos.
There have been times in the
Argos
past.
motions to his. Yep.
The amount of times I've noticed things in the past, you go, nah, it's fine, and I've believed you, and it's not been fine. It's not been fine at all.
I'm riding Argos.
Whee! Anyway, it's good.
Ride the doggy.
This is normal.
For us, anyway.
No, but that's a name. I'm gonna call it Noel.
Notaforion. Or however you pronounce it. I believe this cutscene is voiced.
That it is.
Quite a small place, lacking even the most basic equipment. The present may yield no clues, but we
Echo?
may yet try perusing the past. Have you done this before?
I think that's what we're doing right now.
So you cannot control the power freely. Worry not. I shall assist you.
She can just activate the echo.
Come and stand
I mean,
before
came
me.
in from her.
It's a power all ancients used to have, or at least a lot of them. They had full control over it.
There are two ways to see the past. The first entails peering through the walls of the soul in the moment a subject is recalling a memory. The second requires no subject, and is instead a process of piecing together an event from ripples left in the ambient ether.
She gonna teach us how to control that
As
wall?
memories are etched upon the ether of the soul, so too are they etched upon the ether of the world. In this way can history be preserved. Such memories are given to fading, however, and can prove challenging to visit. But come, let us try. Close your eyes.
Okay, levels activate.
Yeah.
All units fully functional and proceeding on course towards their respective stars. Estimated time to completion of survey is 108 cycles. End of status report. Severing connection with shared consciousness. Hermes. All is well.
It's
Yes. Good tidings at long last.
someone else than his normal self.
Every step of the way, I've been reminded how little we understand creation. How the universe defies imagination.
But soon we won't need to speculate. We'll know the answers. What others live for.
Indeed. And we'll owe it all to you and your sisters.
I wonder what answers we will get.
Whatever intelligent beings that exist out there are bound to be vastly different from us. Diverse in form and culture. Possessed of unique ways of thinking. Their conception of life and its purpose will be no exception. Completely and utterly unlike ours.
Utterly unlike... how?
I have no idea. Yet whatever answers we receive, I will not dismiss them out of hand. No, I will think earnestly on them all. And I will share them with our people, that together we may contemplate our own existence. Perhaps then our star will become a better place. Not only for man, but for all life. Meteon, though I gave you wings to soar the heavens, I did not teach you how to walk the earth. So loath was I to bind another living being. In the course of your long journey, you will learn from those you meet, learn to walk and run and so much more. And when you return, older and wiser, we will have a celebration to mark your homecoming and coming of age both.
Will there be apples? Covered in syrup?
And how are you supposed to eat them? Rather than food, perhaps... a flower. Yes. Upon your return, I will gift you a beautiful flower.
So, what is your opinion?
Thoughts intensify. Right, so they share some sort of hive mind, or can do.
A shared consciousness, yeah.
It looks like Meteon can connect and disconnect with it. When she was connected, she wasn't herself. There was just they were all talking through her body.
They were all talking in unison, yeah.
But her individual was suppressed until she disconnected, then she was herself again. Okay.
Thinking about it like that, they're kind of like, they're almost like a sundered soul on their own, because they're all individual pieces of a larger whole that can connect and break up at will. Interesting.
It could also be linked to, well, it's kind of a bad comparison, I guess, in terms of morality, but the Borg.
Kinda, yeah.
Like, individuals that are connected, they lose their individuality and just become a piece of the whole.
At any rate, what do we say?
Which has me further thinking about things. Okay,
I kind of like the middle one because
yeah, we know.
I don't
what he
know,
does.
just like something is still rubbing me the wrong way about Hermes.
Alright, so middle one. He's a gentle soul, and yet...
And yet, Van Daniel.
I understand. He is a gentle soul, and well-intentioned. Yet it does not take ill intent to beget ill. We must consider the possibility that something may have gone awry. Perhaps it was oversight, or simply an accident.
All the minds of many Meteons could do together
In light
combined.
of this, I propose that we reveal your tale to Hermes himself. If he does not wish for the final days, as we believe, he may well join us in pursuing a solution.
Do we add the part where he was a dick? He might react worse than Emmett.
Then it is settled. Let us seek out our friend with all swiftness. 'Twould
Yeah,
not
let's go
do to
tell him.
let such
Yeah,
a pure
you
soul be
were
blackened by tragedy.
responsible for restarting the apocalypse.
You're kind of like a demonic jester, Kefka style.
I think at this point all we really need to tell him is, hey, so we suspect the world might come to an end at some point, and we have a feeling you might have some insight that could help us not let that happen.
With so further the thoughts they've been having, now that we know that they share a hive mind, what would the perfect powers be like of a whole race of meteors as one mind together?
Definitely more powerful than a single Metea.
I think they're female voice. I think it's Meteon, or at least the Metea hive mind.
Possibly.
Well, at any rate, there are any number of places where Hermes might be in Elpis. But we could do worse than to look in Catesis Hyperborea, the largest facility. It stands in that word Boreas, the Northern Isle. I wonder, for an institution which claims to studiously research every species destined for release into the world, did you not question how they find room for them all on so few islands? The answer lies within Catesis itself. I touched upon the practice before, back at the archives, where a vast area is stitched together out of multiple conceptual spaces. The same holds true for the interior of this facility, and its magically constructed environs. My controller has stopped working. There we go. 'Tis there, within those sprawling habitats, that the Chief Overseer and most of Elpis's observers conduct the bulk of their work. Come, the simplest route is via the Neus north of Poiton Oikos.
So, how warm am I?
I ain't saying anything.
Tom, why do you try? You know he's not gonna say anything.
Sometimes he slips.
Well, not this time. And I'm gonna try and be a lot better about that when we get to campaign 2 of D6. I let slip way too many important plot threads when we were going through the motions there. I don't want to do
Like
that.
how mundane he really is.
I mean,
Pretty mundane.
The thing that I let slip that I'm most ashamed of was the truth about Sauron.
Well, you were
I'm,
just
re-
hoping
I'm,
that
re-
we would...
I'm really upset with myself for giving you guys too much info on that one. Because that was like
Okay.
supposed to be like the big reveal.
I mean, we kind of
Like, when were you
Good to be
planning on
together.
revealing it to us?
I mean, it was pretty much the same moment. I was planning on revealing it at that moment when he showed up to go deal with Leviathan. Fun fact, actually, my plans for the last stretch of the campaign have changed numerous times in dramatic ways over the course of it. I was originally going to have Murasan's plans revolve more around manipulating world leaders into sparking a war that he would be the puppet master behind. And that he would, like, reveal his true identity at, like, a big climactic battle in said war. That's why I made a point to point out ways back that a dirge was kind of the problem state out of the Vataean states, because I was originally planning on dirge being the problematic antagonistic state being puppeteered by Murasan.
And that Diablo's still fit into that.
Yeah, there was still going to be a Diablos plot, but I wound up abandoning that particular plot thread after a while, largely on the grounds that it just didn't feel right, and I wasn't comfortable doing like a big political plot like that. But it was too late to take back the part that Dirge was kind of the problem child, because I'd already left hints about that, so I just had it be just this problematic state that kept causing trouble. I'll probably do something with that in the future, but I don't know yet.
There was a very small discussion about it in the campaign when we had to go there, but...
Yeah.
Ah, good. The Neus acknowledged you as my guest. You should now have the authority to use it as you wish. As for the way to Catesis Hyperborea, we follow this path, then turn left at the crossroads.
So you weren't expecting me at the end of the Meteon stuff to just go, yes, because that is your purpose, etc, etc, etc. Call him out.
I mean,
What was he thinking when I called him out on it, if indirectly?
cheeky little shit. Or brackily clever little shit.
Clever girl.
Oh, clever little shite.
That makes me think back to the fight with Zigbar in Kingdom Hearts 2.
If I recall, that
Here we are.
Clever little
specific,
snake.
the specific comment that spurred us on was you're going to be so mad when you see who's under the hood.
Yeah, I know. I really wish I'd never told you that. Anyway,
Here we are, the grandest research facility in Elpis. We should head inside and ask after Hermes' whereabouts.
Hermes is at another facility, as we've just discovered.
I'm guessing I met in High Five.
Hey!
Yay!
Hey, guys.
Hey guys. And it still doesn't like us, does it?
Furthermore, we've confirmed that his studies into Dynamis, as well as his creation of Meteon, were entirely private pursuits.
He knows who we are. I'm sure he likes us just fine. He's just going to be grumpy about it.
No one else we spoke with appeared to possess the chief's depth of knowledge on the subject, and neither did we hear any tales of stolen research. Which means that if Hermes himself harbors no desire to bring down an apocalypse, then he might be recruited to help prevent one. Or, so saith the illustrious Emmett Selk.
They've done the exact same investigation as we did at the exact same time.
According to your story, the 14 divined the connection between the celestial currents and the final days, but were never able to pinpoint the root cause of the calamity. With our people's greatest minds, not to mention Hythlodaeus' sharp eyes, committed to the pursuit of a solution, such an outcome seems inconceivable. The only possible explanation is if the nature of the catalyst was so inexplicable that even we failed to perceive it. And what better fits that description than the invisible, intangible Dynamis? Which in turn leads us to our next question. How did Hermes, in his role as Fandaniel, not recognize the subject of his own research? We must assume that either he knew and was unable to help, or that he was otherwise prevented from identifying the cause in the first place. At this juncture, all we can do is speculate. To be clear, the Convocation does not tolerate acts of deception or malice. We are practiced at perceiving truth, and would have known had Fandaniel lied to us. Hermes has no conscious wish for the world to end. Of that, I am certain.
Not yet.
Seems there is more to the tale after all. We conducted an investigation of our own, you see.
How comforting. We seem to have reached the exact same conclusion. I see no reason to delay further. 'Tis time we brought Hermes into the fold, as it were. What do we say?
Thank you for understanding. I'm sure you're throwing
I'm
our face, but thank you.
hesitant to thank him. Because I
Thank
feel
him
like he's just
anyway.
going to snap at us.
I already clicked it.
We shall show him all the loves and cuddles, and he headed for it, but that's okay.
Alright. Alright, I already picked the thanking him one.
Yeah.
Save your thanks. I did not say I believed your ridiculous story.
Baka.
But as Emmett Selk, I have a duty to examine any potential threat to our existence, no matter how ludicrous or personally offensive I may find it.
Thank you, buddy.
See? There it is.
There's the Hitler giggle. I still absolutely adore the fact that Hythlodaeus is the funny man of the group. Alright, Hythlo, what next?
I'm pretty sure Azam and Hypnodeus are the bloody Chuckle Brothers, and Emmett just kind of gets dragged in it.
I think the time for leisurely exploration has passed. If I might have a moment to adjust my vision. There he is. On the next aisle over. Meteon is with him. Hermes appears to be in the midst of an observational study, but I suggest we hurry over before they venture elsewhere. Head straight down the path. We can teleport to Miss Opus Eros from the device at the bottom of the slope. God, these freaking names.
Two horses and a mechanical robot.
Two horses and a cerulean-powered robot chocobo.
Robocode.
Robocop!
On the
Scanlan's hand.
I'm leaving.
Originally it was called
You know,
Big Beast.
when I was getting my haircut earlier, I told a few jokes while I was getting my haircut, just making out a chatter with the barber. And at one point, while she was laughing her face off in light of something I said, her response was to go over, grab the blow dryer, and say, "I'm gonna blow dry your face now." Just the way she said it was great. Anyway, they're close by, within the Hungering Gardens. That would be the circular enclosure you see just up ahead. Well then, make yourself useful and bring Hermes out here to us. If I were to go, he would assume I was only there to press him on the Fandaniel matter. Of all of us present, you stand the best chance at convincing him to put aside his work for the moment. But the creations in there are not exactly... Then again, our new friend here can handle them. They did survive a bout with Vana, after all. Off you go to find Hermes, but do be prepared to come to blows with the garden's denizens.
Nothing new.
I think that's the first time he's actually said our name. Also, I will be right back.
Okay.
What are we dealing with anyhow? Oh, music fun. Who the fuck designed that? Oh god, I triggered a flag or something. This is... Ah! Nika, I might have got too close. That's a real freaky mobile.
Nuke! No!
It is fine. Speaking of, I need to get... I think Nick... Hold on, if you're that concerned.
No, I wasn't healing Nuke. I was using Asuna to get rid of status conditions. Because it got bad breathed. Also, I like that robe. That's like the best robe in the game as far as I'm concerned.
You used to wear it, I recall.
Yeah. And I wear a red version of it for my main character whenever they're prancing about as Red Mage.
Neat. How white
I did
mage
wear
is
that for a while with Mika, but I wound up changing to a different robe after a while because a different robe just looked more like Mika's actual outfit.
Level 65, so let's hope I can get attacked here because she'd die.
All the regen effects.
All of the heals! Thaumaturge level 5. I'm definitely gonna die here. Now Surgeon just face level 60. Gunbreakers.
I will give you an Archon loaf if you swap over to Thaumaturge and go attack one of those more balls.
Yeah, I don't. Will you revive me?
Yes, of course.
I have several at level 5. Let's see which one you think would be best. I could do that. There's also... That's level 60. Pugilist. I could punch something at level 5.
Go punch something.
Blue Mage is level 1.
Oh, God. No, just go punch something.
Alright, I'm just going to do them all anyway first. It's level 30.
What did you do?
Nothing yet. Just wait a moment. Samurai, which is level 50.
Yeah, just wait. This is going to be great.
Level 30. Also level 5. Level 5. Level 5. Level 30. Level 5. Level 50. It's also a blue-red mage. Ha, screw you. Anyway. Mika, before I do anything, wish me luck. Leroy! Yeah. Can you kill these things first?
That was beautiful. Leroy! Just immediately died.
But I did punch it.
Once.
I think it felt it, that's all. Are these just the freakiest bloody moreballs you've ever seen? Let's see if I can quickly job change. Ah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. Any quick heals? There you go.
Nice Bennett.
Well, I hope the entertainment was worth
It was great. That was wonderful.
it. The things...
Alright.
The things Nee does for her fiancé.
Alright, let's go find Hermes.
I'm surprised that doesn't have any smarmy comments to the fact that I just got eaten by a fucking morball, the abomination thing.
Oh no. Oh, it's beautiful.
He's having snacks. Cheeky shit.
Ah, found Hermes.
And the bird girl. Hi Hermes, I punched one of your creations. Didn't go well.
Ah, what are you doing here? I thought you were keeping Hythlodaeus and Emmet Selk company. An important matter, and unrelated to my decision on Fandaniel, you say? Then yes, I will come, as soon as my work here is finished. It will not be long, I promise, but you should really wait outside the garden with the others. This is no place for idle exploration.
It's sort of. I just realized those moreballs have arms and it distresses me.
Why did you have to tell me that?
Hermes, Fandaniel, why did he create these?
I don't think these ones are Fandaniels. He's an authority on flying things. This is more of an herbalist's
Why though?
nightmare.
Normal moreballs are bad enough.
Who knows, man? And we've had people coming up with the fucking sharks with legs. As Hythlodaeus is so upset by, you know?
Little days, it's awful, he ate me.
At my command.
You spoke with Hermes, then? And were briefly entangled with the denizens of the Hungering Gardens as well, I see. Or should I say, smell. I cannot speak for certain Convocation members, but I for one am impressed with your fortitude. Well done indeed. Now that you've convinced Hermes to confer with us, let us pray that things will soon take a turn for the better.
For as fascinating as it would be to meet the Emet-Selk who would recreate Amarot in the depths of the ocean, I think it best for all concerned if such tragic events never came to pass. But in our future, or your past, assuming yours is not truly written in stone, I hope that that is.
I mean, you don't really want to change history though, because that would be bad for everything that's us.
Words without sound. Hermes said he would not. Hermes said he would not be long, yes? Then we shall wait here until he emerges.
Does anyone have a tent item they can use?
I believe this cutscene is voiced.
Autoing.
My apologies for keeping you waiting. I understand there is a matter you wish to discuss.
Aye. A matter of the utmost gravity. If one can suspend disbelief. Go on then. Tell him what you told us. Who you are, and why you came.
So, you forced me to switch bodies with the Megalomaniac and then killed a god and set the final days upon us. Thanks, by the way.
The final
Also, I'm
days.
probably responsible for the deaths of countless.
The phenomena observed during these star-encompassing calamities is likely the product of a dynamis reaction. And none is more versed in the applications of this energy than you, Hermes. I must stress that we do not believe you would desire such destruction. We come not to lodge accusations, but to beg your wisdom. And so, distressing though the exercise may be, I ask that you share with us your opinion on the matter, on the assumption that our visitor's tale is true.
Even you, Vana. As you say, the phenomena observed in the two calamities may both be attributed to dynamis. Of note is the difference in its effect. In the first final days, it warped creation magics. In the second, it warped the people themselves. The key variable, I suspect, is the etheric density of the men of each age. As you know, ether, in essence, negates dynamis. Harboring high concentrations of ether, we ancients cannot readily manipulate dynamis, nor be manipulated by it. Therefore, rather than ourselves, the calamity affected our magics. In contrast, having been sundered, the people of the future are composed of but a fraction of our ether. Thus are they susceptible to the influence of dynamis and its transformative potential. But that would explain only the mechanism, not the cause. Though perhaps...
What is it? Even should it be a hypothesis, we would hear it.
Dynamis is an energy put in motion by feelings. Feelings for which there must first exist a source. The source to which the victims must be attuned. One that harbors the selfsame negative emotions. Elsewise it could not be the agent of such extreme change.
So it wasn't the stagnation of the celestial currents. Someone, or something, is instigating the star's demise.
So, we've a villain on our hands after all. Any idea who or what it could be?
The celestial currents comprise the outermost layer of the star's ether, encasing it like a protective sphere. According to your tale, it was where the currents were weakest that the phenomena first manifested. If the inciting factor came from without Aetheris, then its effects would first be seen in those locations.
Greetings. Can you hear me? Do not be alarmed. I mean you no harm.
Yeah,
I wish only to hear your
The hell?
words, share your feelings, know your thoughts. May we please
Hear,
be
feel,
friends?
think.
Meteon. What is it?
Executing scheduled task, suspending individual self and connecting to shared consciousness. Connection established. Commencing status report.
It's her sisters.
It hurts, it hurts! It hurts!
So hot, so cold, so sad. I don't understand. Make it stop. Please, make it stop.
Steady, Meteon. Steady.
So scared, so lonely.
Started.
The pain, it's too much.
One of her sisters got corrupted by something out there?
And through, if one gets corrupted, then all hive mind, all of them get corrupted.
And we're being affected because the Dynamis affects
Her
us.
feelings on those around her.
And because
Ooh.
Meteon just
Oh, yeah, her eyes
connected.
just went.
Meteon just connected, so it's whirling away in her head too.
Her eyes just went black and it's bleeding.
You need to disconnect yourself, fuck.
She's gone? But how?
Did she just?
She has altered her etheric density in order to blend in with her surroundings, an ability for avoiding confrontation.
She needs to be disconnected now.
Most effective. Frustratingly so. I can't see her either. Not even a trace.
Stay away. Please. This is wrong. My mistake. So please.
Yeah, it's the meteor, and she's disconnected.
Are you
she's
all right?
Terrified.
Meteon is the cause of it.
Well, the meteor.
They were
In your
corrupted by
mind?
something they found.
No. We only heard her speak the instant before she vanished.
The meteor's begging us to stay away from her because she's terrified of what's
Of
happening.
course. When communicating without words, Meteon also employs Dynamis. That will explain why you were able to hear her when we could not.
Then you are our best chance of finding her. Follow her voice and try to track her down. Hindered though we may be, let us split up and search as well.
Okay.
So any thoughts or speculations on what the Matea found that could have instigated that reaction?
Something dark.
One of them found something dark that caused them to lose control, and that despair spread through all of them throughout the hive mind.
They
Meteon
can
is
feel. Their mood changes between the feelings. Finding something that's so horrific that
yeah. I mean,
it just corrupted all of them.
like they became corrupted and dark. Meteon just connected to see what was going on with them, and you saw the pain that they were worming her way into her head. Poor kid.
Omni.
And she ran away, telling us not to follow. It's her fault, her mistake. So she knows something bad is happening to her, and she's terrified of what's
Her eyes were bleeding black.
Yeah.
That is not a good sign.
The same color as the Terminus beasts. I will point out, the blasphemies we saw in the final days,
Yeah.
they are made of black goo when they dissolve.
I think it's safe to say the final days are starting.
And we did nothing if not just speed
Not
things
the
up.
cause, it's the meteor.
To be fair, that was a scheduled check-in. That was going to happen regardless of our presence.
Meteon's running away, struggling. Yeah, it seems to my
She's trying to contain it, or trying to disconnect, or trying to do something.
It
Yeah.
seeps into my mind. Our voices reporting. No. No! Hermes mustn't hear them. I have to run. To hide.
She's trying to resist.
She's trying to run away so she doesn't upset Hermes.
It's crawling into her head. No matter trying to block him out, but
What the hell what the hell is causing this?
Oh.
What did they find?
it's all of her sisters. It's the
That
hive
is
mind.
the mystery.
The hive mind's corrupted. It's a thing, and it's exerting its control over Meteon. Meteon's trying to hold it back for Hermes' sake and everyone else's, but it's one mind against many. What can she do? It's changing her.
So this is the part where I have to kill everyone in the room and then myself.
This is why hive minds can be bad.
This reminds me of.
When I mentioned the
This
board.
reminds me of change. This reminds me of change when like the queens were getting infected,
And Meteon's
and then they cut, and then yeah, they cut like all the connections with the changelings outside the hive to protect them.
Yeah, Twilight did that. She last inch of her will she cut the rest off.
All right, let's see
This
here.
is not voiced.
And it's not voiced. I assume this is Meteon speaking, but I don't know. Greetings and salutations.
It is.
Yeah. Are you
Meteon.
still you, or are you the hive mind? Yes, you're the hive mind.
Commencing report.
Shit.
Commencing report.
Is there an off switch?
Oh no, we can't tell them that. We must run. Run far away.
God damn it! Not
Right.
again.
She's still
Might
resisting.
try to tell us what they found, and then she fled.
Please, don't follow me.
Oh my god. The suspense is killing me. What is going on?
Maybe one of they were out there on mass exploring worlds. Maybe one of them found a world that went extinct, or some terrible calamity thing happens. Like it came to maybe the dragon's world, even that hasn't happened yet. If
Hell, maybe she found Omega and
well, that hasn't
Midgard's
happened yet.
home.
That's
We don't actually know how long ago the conflict between Midgard's armor and Omega's people happened. We have no frame of reference for that. as
Still, I'm gonna
how
assume
long-
that hasn't happened yet. 'Cause
We only know that Midgard's armor arrived on Atheris after the star was sundered, but that still leaves a very long window. So who knows?
I'm just gonna assume it hasn't happened yet. It might be wrong, but who knows? Still, one of them finds something that drives them to despair, getting hive mind. The rest of them do it. Meteon's
And then
tries
they inadvertently
hard.
project that onto everything else.
Meteon's trying hard not to succumb, but
Easier said than done when dealing with this shit.
it's a hive mind.
I feel very bad for her. She's trying the damnedest.
That just isn't really working.
She just wants. She keeps telling us stop following.
Can't hear this.
No, went too far. This way.
Found it.
Where?
So we are the meteor. Resistance is futile.
Your world will soon be
Where
nothing.
did you do an off switch, Hermes? That was hive
How?
mind.
How did it come to this? Is this the reason we traveled to the stars? Why we sought out other life forms? Is this it? Is this the answer? No, it cannot be. It cannot be!
gonna end in tears.
Yeah, probably.
It's not called Endwalker for nothing.
How much longer do we have, by the way?
I can go for a little bit longer than I've worked tomorrow, like I usually do. But, yeah.
I can maybe go for 30, 45 minutes.
Sorry. But yeah, so she's gonna get assumed by the hive mind, Meteon's gonna be gone. And then Meteons will, and then the Meteor use their Dino's power to start destroying shit. It projects their despair to create monsters who Dynamis.
Excuse you. Tiny.
The revelation may even serve to drive Fandaniel mad. Also, hi Thanatos. Edgy.
I wonder if I stay
All
like
right.
this in cutscene.
Alright. We have the dialogue, not voiced.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Compiling
hoping.
report for dissemination to Hermes and all peoples of Atheris.
Meteon.
Processing expedition data. Preparing profiles on intelligent civilizations. Formulating answers to the question. Finalizing report. No! You mustn't listen!
Ah, damn it!
Jeez. God damn it, Meteon. You're trying harder. It isn't gonna help.
It's wrong. It's all wrong.
To the lake.
Any sign of Meteon?
She won't be Meteon much longer.
Panicked and confused, which will make it all the more difficult to predict her movements.
Hermes, what do you make of this situation?
The Metea are linked to a single mind, a shared consciousness which connects them across any distance. I suspect something has happened which disrupts its usual harmony.
How might we access this shared consciousness of theirs?
Much as you would approach any sentient being. Directly. In the Metea's case, that means speaking to any incarnation within physical reach.
So unless we can track Meteon, the Meteon we just lost, we have no means of communicating with them. No way of knowing what befell her sisters. No way to provide directions or guidance.
Then we had best set our musings aside and concentrate on how we might find her.
Hermes sees something.
He's worried about Meteon.
Hermes.
Besides, definitely affectionate for her.
Oh, my dear Meteon. What did you witness out there that frightened you so? Why do you seek to keep it from us? How terrible could it possibly be?
Well, I mean, their sisters went mad for seeing something terrible, and now they're gonna do something terrible. Blame it
My
for
first
running.
thought when all this started happening is I thought she stumbled on Zeromus.
Aye. What was our thoughts
Correct.
back when?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Meteon renders herself invisible by matching her etheric density to that of her surroundings, does she not? If so, could we not then disrupt her concealment with a surfeit of ether? Much how Emmett Silk solidified your presence when first we met you. Don't be absurd. I can hardly channel ether to a recipient whose whereabouts are hidden from me. Which is why we must all work together. Our friend will continue the search in the same manner as before, but this time with you in tow. Once they ascertain Meteon's likely location, you proceed to reveal our wayward familiar with a swift ethereal downpour.
Very clever. And thankfully, she has made herself easier to capture by fleeing towards Leith. Assuming she is made visible, it should prove no great feat to herd her into a corner.
Then we have our plan. You and Emmett Selk will be our tracker and trapper respectively, while we others predict and obstruct Meteon's avenues of escape. Emmett Selk and I will keep an eye on each other's ether to help coordinate our efforts. Let us be about
I
it.
wonder if a bunch of ether could also block a connection to the mind.
Well, it seems we are partners for the time being. Let us return to where we last saw Meteon and pick up the trail from there. I will keep myself in a state of preparedness, ready to rain down ether at a moment's notice, meaning it falls to you to keep the way clear. And now Emmett is following us, which means we cannot mount up. But hey, Emmett Selk has joined the party.
Oh boy.
Delightful.
Yay.
Suspicious disturbance.
Well, we can be sarcastic about that later. For now, we need to try and probably fail to stop a child's individuality from being annihilated.
Nothing this way. We try another route then.
There's one.
Yep, found it.
Why can't I fly? Are my functions being restricted? Hide. Yes, I'll just have to hide then, but no one can find me.
Meteon.
She went into the lake?
Oh, as if this wasn't tiresome enough.
Well, at least that open expanse should make her
Easier to find. We won't lose her this time. We can use sprint. We just can't mount up, sadly.
Over here.
Oh, what? You found it?
I found something.
It's a
Oh.
talk point.
Oh, it's a thing for talking with Emmett.
I'm being attacked by a hippie. Okay, it's gone. We should be able to reach the bottom of this drop by climbing down the rocks at the water's edge. Do not even think of dragging me over the falls. Final days or no, if I end up drenched from head to toe, I swear I will feed you to a remora.
Sure, you can
Well
let
then.
yourself dry. Let's go.
So I do it anyway, and he doesn't even care. And now he's wet from head to toe.
Yeah, just see them coming. Like, Meteon's running to stop us hearing this and protect us, but...
And yet, like the stubborn fucks that we are...
Well, she's not thinking straight, because by doing this, she's not getting help, and she's gonna lose the battle eventually. And then what? Final days, that's what. Well, I guess even if we save Meteon from this, there's still sisters that are out there anyway. Doing this.
And they're all individually equal, just one had to stay behind.
Not here. I'm not here. Please.
Emmett. Do it.
By that rock, is she? Very well.
What? Why can't I hide?
What do we say?
Top one.
Top one?
Top
Yeah,
one.
try to be comforting.
What are you saying? Everything is so faint.
Can't even hear us.
I'm sorry. I'm not strong enough. Stay away. I'm begging you. Don't make me say it. It will break him. His poor fragile heart.
And there she goes. Now we have a chance. Once the others are in position, the two of us can herd her into their midst. Alright, let's get after her.
Meteon!
I also have a distinct fear that whatever the hive mind ends up turning on is going to turn Hermes into the Vendania we know.
Said it would break his heart. Crap, I got everything after me. Leave me alone! Ow!
I mean, we know Hermes is already dealing with mental health issues.
And he's got like severe like depression and shit.
Something bad to
Not to mention a
drive him nuts.
deep-rooted hate. Not to mention a deep-rooted hatred for how everybody here treats the creations like they don't exist. Like how mad he was that we had to put those.
To quote the
creatures down.
Joker, all it takes is one bad day.
Alright, here we go.
And a good
Suspicious
man
disturbance.
to a monster.
This is not going to end well.
There, I see her. Also, there was a little talk window here we could have used.
Yeah, I saw it. But
It's
no
gone
talking.
now.
No talking to the Emmet. We must. We must.
It was simply about him commenting that that teleporter isn't presently functional.
Why isn't the teleporter functional?
I don't actually know. At first, I thought it might have been that was how we would get to like the Pandemonium raids, but I was wrong.
Might be for a future thing. Let's see.
Might be. Who knows? Another suspicious disturbance.
Come on, Meteon, let us help you.
Just help you, you silly girl. Amika will give you many headpats.
And hugs.
The fuck's on the ether to disconnect your Dynamis hive mind thing.
I think this one's voiced.
Auto advancing.
Aha!
Yep.
Give chase. We shall herd her into the shelter.
Yes, the most comforting of faces. That scowl.
Emmet. I'm trying to help you, you silly girl.
She's terrified, not thinking straight. Plus, you know, a hive mind worming its way through her soul and consciousness.
Indeed.
And cornered.
Please, Meteon. We must speak.
It's a blank look. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, Hermes.
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. If someone can hear these words, then please. Please protect them. Protect them all.
Uh-oh.
Set in her eyes.
Tears. She's crying. And...
Individual self-suspended.
Oh.
Connection with shared consciousness stable.
And Meteon's gone.
Our survey is complete. We shall now report our findings. All units safely arrived at their respective destinations. Seeking answers to Hermes' question, we attempted to make contact with the intelligent denizens of each star. Results are as follows, in order of numerical code. Enna. Traces of civilization found. Structures believed to have served as domiciles. No extant life forms detected. Dio. Ruined remnants of buildings scattered across star, surface of which is encased in ice. Presence of life could not be verified. Tria. Evidence of large population centers, akin to cities recovered. No extant life forms found, only their lingering essence. Tessera. Edifices surmised to be abandoned residences found. No extant life forms detected. Deadly plague or extreme environmental degradation likely to have led to mass extinction.
They are all dead.
Octo. Star found in state of violent conflict. Contact successfully made with inhabitants, but deployment of weapons of mass destruction resulted in total annihilation of local population shortly thereafter. Inea. Star is a barren desert. No identifiable flora found. Bones of living beings resembling men discovered beneath sands, but determination regarding their intelligence inconclusive.
Remind me, Hermes, what exactly was the question you entrusted to Meteon?
I tasked her with asking what others live for. What gives their lives meaning.
Did you consider what may happen if the premise of the question is flawed? To be able to answer it, one must be living and desire to continue doing so. But if Meteon finds no living beings in the course of her journey, or none who desire to live, what then? What answers would she derive from their silence?
Meteon, enough! Suspend your mission and return hither at once.
Decapente. Local civilization once flourished under auspices of higher power. Said power later laid waste to civilization in fit of rage.
Primal.
Upon revealing this to me, entity elected to self-terminate in lieu of providing answer to question. No other intelligent life forms found.
Turning a deaf ear, are we? We are taking Meteon back to Amarot. As I understand, we will need her if we are to bring back all of her sisters.
Yes. Meteon. It isn't right, is it? It isn't right to turn away from the answer. Even if the answer is pain. Even if we aberrations must scream ourselves hoarse to be heard. Aye. Whatever answers we find, I will not dismiss them out of hand. These words I said to you, and I will hold myself to them.
I think Daniel's turning up now. Yeah.
What's he doing?
Transformation magics.
What the hell?
What is the meaning of this?
You cannot take Meteon, not until she has finished her report. All else must wait.
He's going full Daniel, I know it. Damn him.
The hell is
You
that?
fool!
Oh, excuse me.
So, Meteon's individuality is gone. She tried to stop this from happening, but lost herself.
So, I had a feeling this was the case.
Yeah, the hive
She
mind.
goes and tries to find intelligent life.
Meteon
She finds none.
Just finds everyone not dead already.
Yeah, great
And those who
filter.
weren't dead were shortly soon were.
One of them was destroyed by a primal, sounds like. Probably do you like it?
The cause doesn't really matter in the end.
Yeah, so the meteor
That is
found
dead.
this, like, well, they either just didn't have life to begin with, or had gone through various extinction events, whether it be natural or non-natural.
So the only thing they could perceive the meaning to life being is
Nothingness, but considering how big the
nothing,
universe
pain
is,
and death.
considering how big the universe is, and we know there is other life out there, dragons. Very
Hermes?
slanted view.
Why could you not leave well enough alone? Will these answers assuage the pain you feel when a creation is returned to ether? Had you never cast your accursed question to the distant stars, you may have one day learned to be at peace upon this one.
Yeah, and then, obviously, yeah, Meteon reconnected, felt all this, knew where this was going to go for Hermes, for everyone, tried to protect him and us. Lost herself, her individuality, and now Hermes has gone mad.
Hermes has headed to Catesis. Considering the expansive dimensions of the place, even we may have a difficult time locating his ether. All I can say is that he entered from the rooftop and likely arrived at the uppermost point of the facility. So, do we pursue him? Of course we pursue him! No matter what Hermes might be thinking, Meteon is a potential threat that needs to be brought under control. The Convocation's duty to safeguard this star takes precedence over any personal stake in the matter. Vana? New friend? 'Tis clear we stand on a precipice, but we have yet to determine beyond a shadow of a doubt that Meteon's is the hand which tips us over the edge. Nevertheless, if we are to learn the truth of the final days, we must give chase. And even if neither Hermes nor Meteon is ultimately responsible, we cannot leave them to suffer this torment alone. Agreed on all counts. To Catesis Hyperborea we go.
We're going into a fight.
Now, is this going to be a trial or a
Dungeon, I think.
We're not level 89 yet.
So no trial. So dungeon?
Against the Meteor Hive Mind through who wants Meteon.
So I'm guessing the...
And for Daniel, again. Again for the first time.
For the second time, for the first time. For the first time, for the last time. Fucking
that's fine.
Spaceballs.
A lot of Ascians out here.
What have we here? Excuse me, has something happened inside Catesis?
Mistress Vana, I'm so glad you're here. No one knows what prompted it, but the alarm was sounded and Catesis put into a state of alert. Procedure dictated that we evacuate immediately. We have yet to investigate further.
This is Hermes' doing, obviously. And what does the state of alert entail exactly?
A field of dampening magic is draped over the entire facility, usually in response to escaped entities and the like. Catesis scholars and observers are unaffected, but everything and everyone else is weakened to a fraction of their usual capabilities.
Then consider us forewarned. We do, however, have urgent business with Chief Hermes, and must enter the premises regardless. That said, if Hermes is willing to enact such measures, I wonder what other obstacles he has seen fit to drop on our path. With that enfeebling spell in place, we're not like to be at our fighting best. And I was hardly an effective combatant to begin with. I've little to offer beyond my ethereal vision. Then you will put that talent of yours to good use. You were fairly skilled at spotting weaknesses, if I recall. Fairly skilled? Oh, now you've gone and raised everyone's expectations. You all need only make the most of your strengths, and I will fill in the gaps as required. I was once a Zem, after all. 'Twas my job to rise to the occasion, be that as defender, aggressor, or healer. I feel better about my lack of prowess already.
Yeah.
And
So I
you,
guess-
Emmett Selk, can impress us with your arcane majesty. You lob potent spells as easily as breathing, but can also channel that power in a protective manner if you so choose, yes? Well, yes, should the situation call for it. Excellent. That should cover us on all fronts. Your tale led us here, so it is only right that you lead us now. No matter what lies ahead, we will win through to Hermes and Meteon. And then we will face the future together.
Final
So,
days begin.
Vana and Emmett can both count as tanks, or
So remember when I said that there were 2 points where I would insist on using the trust system?
This is the other one.
This is one of them.
I will do add to Vela, of course.
Yeah.
indeed.
Despite trying to. I lost
I see
words.
lions
Yes.
and coerls.
Well, lads. Yeah, Meteon's last words were for us to protect everyone from
The
her.
world unsundered.
Thesis Hyperborea. A dungeon that canonically we fight alongside Emmett Selk, Vana, fucking Ludeus.
So, is Hypoladeus the healer canonically?
Ludeus is an archer. Vana is an all-rounder, and Emmett Selk can be DPS or...
Turn back, else I might be forced to.
He is sounding cool, Daniel.
Not really, his voice is still too deep, but whatever.
That was his voice when he changed, remember? He had Assie's voice.
And this tank's just gonna go and grab everything.
Yeah, it's his prerogative. Can't really change that.
Yeah, remember, he originally had Assie's voice, he changed his voice towards the end.
He was still higher pitched when he was speaking the Almond voice.
Pretty sure it's the same voice actor.
Probably, but the specific intonations here are different because different vocal cords.
Yes? I haven't seen a warrior in forever.
They are overpowered as hell now. Yeah. Like fucking Home Gang and a bunch of their other abilities just... I mentioned a bit ago that I managed to do the second of the extreme trials, right? And we got through that with only one tank, and the reason we got away with that was because that tank was a warrior. He had a lot of self-sustain.
Well, they were the most self-sustained.
And now they are even more
Unlike Dark Knight.
And now they're even more so.
Yeah, Dark Knights have never been particularly interested in keeping a healthy lifestyle for themselves.
No.
So cool.
There's my shadow arrows. That's something that he can't do, put shadow element on their arrows.
Yeah, unfortunately, elemental arrows does not do that.
Shadow is currently the only element he can't cast. You can protect yourself fully from it. But
Can't do holy.
actually, one of my limit breaks can now do holy. Sky Storm. Great save. Yeah, it creates a damage at a time, arena-wide effect of holy damage. This was just an outright damage.
I become Cloud.
Yeah, I can't do cello damage, but I can become fully protected damage. Now for the entirety of the fight.
Frostbite and Sea.
Oh god, where'd he go?
Oh, we gotta find him. Why is the tank standing over here?
That's why.
Oh. That's why.
Yeah, you could see where he was based on the footprints you left in the snow.
Can you bring Albatross into this mode?
With the avatar system, yes, but in the scenario mode, it's just the...
I'm pretty sure I saw a clip of this dungeon, actually.
With Alize going nuts?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah, that's the avatar system where you have to level those trusts up individually, but you can just do the scenario mode where you're restricted to the ones who are here for the story. And yeah, you can absolutely bring the Scions here, and Alize flips her shit at this part. For me as a red mage main, it is delightful to watch.
You can see how they would have reacted if it worked. Alright, where to now, guys?
Alright.
Thanks for
over here. That's where his footprints end.
I think we just made it.
Hi, Buster.
That's always an unfortunate situation, isn't it? Stack marker across an AoE marker.
Let's fight the Seek again.
I'll look for
Are you right? You were.
Was there ever any doubt?
There's always down. We're idiots.
I mean, you're not wrong. But at the same time, have a little more faith. I'm here.
I feel like at that point, like Hyperlideus would be the one saying, yeah, I can still say him over.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, like Hyperlideus has like the best voice lines for this particular dungeon.
Oh, we're back to acid gear.
Yep. Like Hyperlideus's go-to response is, "I'm not entirely useless," as he's shooting things with an ethereal bow.
He's an archer.
Yep, he uses a
Or
bow and
boss,
arrow.
Yes.
Makes sense. He is the funny man.
I'm warning
Are you trying to tell me something?
Stay away!
Hank, slow down! I get it, I'm excited too, but I... Wait for us!
Got to.
Also,
No.
yeah, I forget that all the time too.
It's a really nice attack.
It is.
Give in to the Caius. Embrace the Caius.
You know, I will say that I kind of wish more emphasis had been put on like the relationship between the Warrior of Light and their avatar for the Reaper quest line. Like,
Kinda
I
like
did
how-
under the...
Kind of like
like,
how Dark Knight had a relationship between, like, the darkness, I think, and something.
I mean, I was more thinking about like in terms of Summoner, where you actually have to like subdue the Eggies before they'll answer to you. Except with more like the Avatar actually having a personality. So sort of like a hybrid between like how Summoner did things and
I mean, it's
My brain
voice
is
set,
blanking.
so that would have made sense.
Tank!
yeah, like I just think that would have been really, really cool, frankly. Would have made for an interesting dynamic if like that thing was constantly like whispering over the Warrior of Light's shoulder and they had a completely subservient.
We tend to try and do the
They are
deal with
good at-
everything.
Yeah. Like, they are otherwise known as demons, so it would have made perfect sense. It would have been great to, like, beat that voice in its own game. Kind of figuring that if ever I decide to follow through on an urge I have to make a custom job for FFD6 as Reaper, to actually have that be a thing where like your avatar is an actual entity you kind of have to negotiate with, kind of like the Warlock's patron in D&D 5th edition, where you need to maintain a good relationship with your avatar for it to actually
mine.
do shit with you. All right, this thing.
That is also mine.
Lead and roar.
Hello. Two-headed serpent thing. And it has inhale. What
Fine.
the?
Behind it.
They need to be burnt.
Over here.
Good meeting. Okay. Shield up. Back here. Whoa! Dang, it's alright. I was... Get in, Shrub.
Why are you yelling like a cat?
Because I feel kind of like it. I feel like just an angry kitty, just how I just keep flailing and just clawing at this thing while I'm enshrouded.
Part of it.
Or
That happens.
Hey, I'm level 9 now.
Nice.
Noise. No. That's for the Ni.
A lot of stuff for Neothil here.
The Ni gets everything.
Hold on, I've got a song gauge expansion thing. I need to read something.
Well, the tank isn't waiting for you, so...
Of course he's not.
Unfortunately, you have to suffer.
There's anything I should do that I have to do with it later. Alright.
Up we go. Higher, oh higher.
And now you go down my head, thank you.
There's a box of them. That's for me.
I'll treat it. I have no use for it, but I can sell it.
I think you could sell mine.
You can to your grand company for seals.
From existence.
Although, going back to what I was saying earlier about if I decide to make a Reaper a custom job for, you know?
Look, they're yours!
Yeah.
Halo's at least. The one thing I'm having trouble figuring out is where will those Reapers find their avatars? Because I don't have a Void or a Hells per se, you know. I have the Ember Abyss, but I don't know how applicable that'll be.
mean, there's also just the
crater of the Tower of Creation.
realms.
The only thing I can think of that would really work from a lore standpoint is a Reaper would be forging a pact with a ghost that didn't fully dissolve when it returns to the ambient life stream stuff. Like because like the idea is that like when a thing typically dies in Eno, its soul immediately unravels or very rapidly unravels. But souls angry enough can hold themselves together through raw willpower, and that's
To
how
make
ghosts.
it to darkness aspect, it could be a soul that's been exposed to Mount Vana.
Either that, or they deliberately fractured their own soul and mind for the purpose of emulating Thanatos.
Pardon?
Alright, I'm guessing.
Am I gonna be like
Oh, hi,
the
Fen Daniel.
beginning of all Reapers or something?
This is the
Winged
second
Defiance.
time we fought Hermes, technically.
And to the first one.
Comes to this. I have no wish to fight, but this time, I cannot yield. Though the world may think me a mad, desperate fool, I will hold fast to my conviction.
Let's do this again, shall we?
And this time he's going to be primarily wind-based.
Alright, Fen Daniel.
I will have the time and tranquility I require. Lust and gale, gather to me!
I will say, this is probably like one of the trickiest of the dungeon bosses in this game, frankly.
Each its brand! Unleash your power!
Middle. Safe spot is in middle. Put that one, please.
Dancing winds! Pierce my foe!
Get away from the tank. That one has splash.
Stars on high! All is rain!
Here.
Middle.
Goodbye, Bandies.
Over here. Over here.
Ow. And it is following us.
Away.
Great. Ah.
Ah, just killed me instantly. Okay.
Like a Vuln stack and you're already low on HP from windburn damage.
Well, the tank actually is using the thing that interrupts their attacks. Thing I never used.
Wise in this fight, considering the fact he was about to use an ability that dramatically increases his damage output.
Streams of ether! Surge as one!
Alright, on me. To the Dorito. Alright, go get him.
After we do this.
Dancing winds! Pierce my foe!
Dorito. Move. Outside. It's 10%. Hades, would you like the honor?
Do the thing.
I'm doing
Do that cloud.
Not quite. There we go.
And here you go. Just leveled up. Cassian shite.
My power.
Off goes the mask.
I just love that solemn look. It's like, you idiot.
We're 2
Alright,
2 on Daniel.
Alright, give me a bit. I need to go pee, and then we can resume.
That is for a black mage. That is for the thing. Very cute.
Got news there.
Now, did I get anything?
I didn't get the body. I want to see what the body looks like. So I got the. I got the boots, the gloves,
I got
and the
earrings.
mask. I want to see what the body looks like because it's all clearly Asian themed.
Let us see.
Now, I'm not sticking on right here because we can't access glamours. We're about to have a real long cutscene, I think.
Probably.
To sort out your glamours, I need to see your cape.
Well, I like this elf.
But Caius is getting lonely. You're not wearing him.
Am I wearing him now?
In a matter of
I'm back.
speaking, yes.
What's up?
Hi, Mika.
Let's talk about the new outfit. I didn't get the body. I want to see what it looked like because it's Asian themed.
You know, it's ironic. I look like you've done the story quest, the job quest for Reaper, right?
Yeah.
How ironic that I look like the guy that we killed when I do that.
To be fair, I think the reason behind that is that that's just the look that happens when you play host to your avatar in general for any Reaper. And Orcus was just an avatar that was permanently playing host and had completely
Orcus?
taken over. That's the name of the Void Scent.
I know the name. That's a demon in D&D.
Well, there you go then.
A Horn of Orcus. Orcus not gonna deal with that.
Well, he was an avatar who took over his host permanently.
I mean,
Well.
like Final Fantasy 1, that was the enemies were all D&D enemies. They hadn't done anything unique.
That he loved, that he wanted to eat my soul, but he said, and I quote, I want, well, not quote, but more just like the idea of, I want you to marinate for a while.
Yeah, he kidnapped Drusilla so that you'd get pissed off, and that would apparently make you taste better.
Alright, shall we wait on the first dollar box to sync up?
Yes.
Right. Hermes?
It's over, Hermes.
Got something to
In
explain.
the name of the Convocation, I hereby take Meteon into custody.
Cannot stop this dialogue.
Oh, not that one anyway.
And setting aside the
Neither.
matter of your nomination, you will come with us too. We require your knowledge to assess and resolve the situation.
I cannot stop this.
Meteon, I am so sorry. Would that I could have listened to your report in full. reflected upon its meaning and conveyed it to others, that they might reconsider their chosen course. But I have failed, and that wish will never be realized. However, ere our fates become the province of others,
Anyway, since it's doing it on its own.
I bid you tell me just one thing. Was there happiness in those distant stars? Was there a reason for living?
We conducted our search as per your instructions. We scoured historical records, communed with the spirits of the deceased, heard the final testaments of the dying, welcomed their shadowed hearts into our own. One race had striven to create a world bereft of animosity. They renounced relationships to avoid interpersonal strife, and in so doing brought about societal collapse. One race had renounced war and devoted itself to the enrichment of its people. They were conquered. Though they destroyed the enemy in reprisal, they could not regain their former glory. One race had concluded that finite time was the root of all woes. Aspiring to shatter its shackles, they went in search of infinity. They discovered nothing is infinite, and that neither time or death can be cheated. Disillusioned, they gave up on the future and themselves. One race had discarded all things that gave rise to sorrow, hoping to have only joy. They found joy lost its savour in the absence of sorrow, and lost their will to live. Though worlds apart, these peoples shared a belief. The belief that they had tried their best. That they had tried to fulfill their potential with every step and success. In the course of which, they learned the truth. That they would never be free of fear and sorrow, anger and despair, of loneliness, so long as they yet lived. Even now their souls cry out for oblivion. And to this song of anguish, I lend my voice. We lend our voice. Oh, beloved mankind, shimmering jewels of beautiful Etheris, rejoice, for we will free you from the cruel yoke of existence. There is no need to struggle in vain, for in nihility awaits salvation. You will know peace and serenity, and it will be beautiful.
Not on our watch. We made Meteon a promise.
We will make our nest at the edge of the
So
universe.
Meteon's the one talking to you.
And there, in the dark of
It's
dead
the
worlds,
Meteor hive mind.
hold sorrow and suffering.
The last time we heard Meteon the individual
There we will
was
sing
when she made us
our
promise
chorus
to
ever
protect
louder
the
and
world
ever
from
clearer,
her.
that our song may reach even this ether-shrouded star. Such is the answer we have found in the stars.
Such is the gift we now offer to Atheris.
Who were you to decide our fate? To decree we live or die?
And it became her desire.
Have you lost your mind? You heard what she said. She means to destroy us all, yet you'd still take her side?
In the name of the star, we have discarded those creations that we deemed flawed. If we ourselves are flawed, does it not stand to reason that we too should be discarded?
180 on your reasoning, Hermes.
That is sophistry, and you know it!
Perhaps it is. Perhaps I am wrong. But who is to say that you are right?
Fucking Van Daniel.
Let us settle this with a determination. In my authority as Chief Overseer of Elpis, I will make a judgment on man's fitness to exist. If he can learn to value all life and retain his will to live, even should his end be justified, he will surely find a way to avert his demise. If not, he will perish from the start. As with all determinations, provisions must be made to ensure fairness. Kairos! Awaken!
Memory reconfiguration system Kairos activated.
Memory eraser.
Awaiting instruction.
This is
Command.
why Emmett doesn't
Universal
remember.
memory alteration. Target area. Catesis Hyperborea. Starting point. Arrival of Emmet Selk of the Convocation at Propylion. Endpoint. The present. Erase the memories of all events and replace with a vague recollection of the following. I was here, preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to Emmet Selk and Hithodeus. Meteon's shared consciousness became unstable. She and her sisters could not sustain their existence, and all dissipated with a burst.
Had a link, so you modified the
The
memory.
resultant shockwave accidentally triggered Kairos, which erased several days of memories from all present. Execute.
What's this shit?
Command acknowledged. Initializing. 3 processes remaining to execution.
Bravo. I dare say one would be hard-pressed to make it fairer.
This is gonna work on us too.
Everything that you told us, everything that has happened, the fact we've even met, it will all be gone.
Go, Meteon. To the edge of the universe, where none can reach you.
Hermes, won't you come with me? If you were to shed your flesh, I should be able to carry you.
I will remain. As a man, I will oppose the oblivion you bring.
Silly fool. Had you said yes, I would have granted you the gentlest end.
Yes.
This ends here!
Fly, Meteon! That is far enough, Hermes!
Ashen Glyph, he's pissed.
Argos, to me!
First process complete. 2 remaining to execution of memory reconfiguration.
As if we needed more pressure. No matter what, you cannot forget what happened today. For it is the key to saving your future. Your world. This fight is our fight. What comes after, our problem to contend with. Not yours. No. Your own struggle awaits. And no one else can take your place. You must flee this place with your memories intact. And I will see that you do. Now then, where is it? There you are, my little confluence.
I don't remember the range.
Almost! Very well then.
Oh!
You may elude us this day, but not forever.
Star Wars tracking device solution.
Just put a tracker on it?
That's what it looked like.
Meteon's gotten away.
Second process complete. 1 remaining to execution.
I think it's time we bail.
No time for brooding.
Get us out of here, get us out of here now!
Listen well. Beyond lies a spatial confluence that connects the interior sections of this building. I will destroy the confluence and force open a way outside. When I do, you must jump through.
I cannot tell you how sorry I am. But neither can I let you escape!
Ow. Bye.
Too brave by half.
That'd be a twist.
Exemplary work, as always, Emmett Selk.
What? But how? I thought the confluence was... over...
Over there? Yes. We were rather hoping you would.
It was never anywhere but where it is now. The instant those two began making their way towards nothing, 'twas clear the plan was a diversion.
I'm quite incapable of destroying a confluence, I must confess.
A gambit brazen beyond words. Though we've grown accustomed to reckless improvision due to the antics of an incorrigible associate.
I take that as a compliment.
Though, in the case of certain present company, incorrigible is an understatement. Honestly, I'm beginning to suspect it's a requirement for every Azen. There's no time! Quickly! Even now, I do not believe your tale. I would not suffer us to walk such a wretched path. Still, if it must be said,
We need to go now.
do not squander it. The legacy I leave you.
Final process complete.
Goodbye, Emma.
Executing universal memory alteration.
Would have been a perfect time for him to say, "Remember us."
Go, Argos!
We need to go.
But Nars gonna remember too.
So that just happened.
So
bitch.
they forgot, but Hydaelyn remembers.
So now Hydaelyn remembers, but nobody else will.
Time really contained. She knew everything.
And she's wiped.
I'm fine.
It has been a day.
Just a little tired.
Auto advance now. Hallelujah.
I already have it on.
I think it was auto doing anyway till now.
Can it be true? Are we the only ones left who see beauty in the world? In life? Are the stars above no more than husks of fallen civilizations?
I've met alien dragons. Pretty sure they believe in life.
At least Midgard's so.
And yet,
The universe is a big place. A big empty place.
I feel her. Though she is unimaginably distant, I feel Meteon's presence. And the place where to we must go.
It's not just space in Final Fantasy Continuity, it's dimensions too.
Ere
So-
she made good her escape, I placed an enchantment upon her. One which allows us to follow her trail.
Many other stars of
She
life.
has already left the outermost bounds of Aetheris, and continues on her way. Given the vastness of the universe, it will still be no easy feat to track her down. But thanks to Emmet Selk and Hythlodaeus, all is not lost. We remember. So long as we remember, our fates remain ours to shape.
What do you say?
What now? What now?
No?
What now?
Alright.
What indeed? Let us begin by ascertaining the situation at Catesis Hyperborea, where the others should still be.
Hermes the one.
Given the
remember either
likely
one.
state of their memories, however, it would be imprudent for us to approach them directly. In which case...
But he's so much shown that the Fandana we know is in him.
I am sorry, my friend. I've asked much of you this day. But may I trouble you one last time? Argos will investigate in our stead. We will share in his consciousness and see and hear as if we were with him. Now,
Funky echo shit.
close your eyes and open your mind.
Too bad Emmet won't remember that he rescinded Hermes' offer to join the convocation.
And the madness that Hermes just acquired has also been erased because the events that catalyzed it have also been erased for him.
But we know very well it comes back.
Eventually, yes. But we know that he was at the
Thank
forefront of trying to
goodness
fight
you
off
are
the Tamayas
unharmed.
originally, so.
Change.
Unharmed? There is a gaping hole in my memories. I can scarcely remember arriving here in Elpis.
Forgive me. I was preparing to demonstrate the functionality of Kairos to our guests. But Meteon, her shared consciousness became unstable. And she...
So, that's what prompted the state of alert. And when you went to investigate, you were caught in Kairos's accidental operation.
So it would seem. It's all a blur to me.
Such an unfortunate accident. Oh, and what of Vana and your other companion? You went inside together, as I recall.
We did?
If Vana was with us, I have no recollection of it. But that there is her familiar, is it not? The fellow seems happy enough, so I think it's safe to assume his mistress is well. I haven't the slightest notion who this other companion might be, however.
Ah, well, that individual struck me as a bit different, for want of a better word. Perhaps it wasn't actually a person, but some manner of creation.
Curious. I must ask Vana about it when next we meet.
We're demoted back to Asm's familiar.
Yes, you do that. Now, if we may tend to Hermes, whatever this Meteon did, it seems he bore the brunt of it. Once you are fit to travel, you will return with us to Amarot. We need to make certain there are no other ill effects. Also, I am here on business of the 14. We've already had the conversation, like as not, but since your toy wiped my memory, we'll have to have it again.
Yes, of course. As you see fit.
This Kairos, it manipulates memories through the emission of etheric waves, correct? There is a theory which holds that memories scoured by blasts of ether are restored when the soul is cleansed in the underworld. If true, then perhaps when our time comes to return to the star, we shall remember these few days we have lost.
In other words, when we killed Hades, he remembered.
I doubt aught of interest occurred. Look forward to the revelation if you like, but I should prefer to reminisce on more meaningful
I'm sure
moments.
he was overjoyed. Remember us. Oh shit, I forgot things.
I bid them remember, but all along I was the one who had forgotten. God damn it.
Let us rest.
Yeah, the spiked fingers.
If
on my
only
joints
for a
probably make
while.
them very painful with me clenching my fist.
After all, you and I... Oh, we still have a long, long way to go.
Your journey's a lot longer than ours, Adeline. You have to go the long way round. And you knew everything, you bastard. From the first.
From the very first moment.
Alright, let's get this and that'll be it.
I assume we're about to head back to,
Yeah, we're about done here. There will be another lengthy cutscene, I believe, with the next quest, and then we'll be back in our time.
Yeah, I'm
Are you
sorry,
feeling
I
it?
don't need to wait.
Right. Are you feeling at all recovered? I understand that your exertions are more than purely physical, but resting one's body, if only for a moment, is never without merit. As for Hermes, I think it unlikely he will create more Entelekis. He poured much of himself into Meteon, and now that she and his sisters are gone, dissipated, in his mind, the grief must be unbearable. He will blame himself. He will believe that, Had he never acknowledged his dissatisfaction with the world, then the Meteon would have never been born to suffer and die. The offer to join the 14 will be a welcome distraction, and one day hence, he will face the advent of the final days in the role of Fandaniel.
For better and most certainly for worse.
Alright, so shall I pick up this next question and this next quest and be done with it?
Alright.
I mean, if it's just a cutscene, I might as well get home.
It is a fairly lengthy cutscene. I will pre-warn that.
So I need to go, Tom.
Alright, then. Thou must live, die, and know. Oh, good.
Listen to me. Our duty now is not to denounce Hermes for his misguided determination, or to convince Emet-Selch and Hythlodaeus that they have been deceived. No, we must instead ensure that the experiences Hermes sought to expunge are preserved. What remains in our memories alone will be our weapon against the final days. You must fight this battle in your age, and I in mine. Come, let us walk together once more. I will see you to the doors of Propylion.
Alright.